Last year I planted 21 strawberry plants that I salvaged from the Victory Garden, but I didn't get a good survival rate on them. Only about a third survived. So in this video, I'm gonna make me some new strawberry plants. If you recall last year when I was redoing the Victory Garden, pulling out the large bed and installing the new 4x4 beds, I dug up some legacy strawberry plants that had been there from our previous garden. And they were all over the place, taking over the garden as they continue to spread. But I saved about 24 plants and transported them home and planted them in some large planters here in my backyard. So over winter, not everyone survived. Very few did. Of the 21 I think I planted, might have even been more than that. 4 planters, 7 each, 28 plants. Only 7 survived, so just a quarter of them survived. But that's okay. They always tell you to plant fewer strawberry plants than you think you're actually gonna need because they like to spread. So I've already harvested a few strawberries off of there. Not very large ones, but quite delicious. They just have more of a strawberry flavor to them, but they are throwing out runners. So I'm going to convert those runners into new plants. So as you can see, we've already had some runners start, and I've planted them and they're starting to sprout, and it looks like they're throwing off new runners too. But I've got one here, I've got one over there, and I've got 3 or 4 more in the other planters. But we're getting more runners here. So I want to plant them up and put them in containers like this because they'll end up rooting in there. We can cut them from the mother plant and fill in the container. It's a good way to continuously replenish your strawberries and never have to buy another strawberry plant again. So as you can see, I've got another one over here. Oh, and I've actually got a strawberry over here. Right now I've just been getting these small ones. This one isn't ready yet, but I've had one probably about twice the size of that. About 4 of them. I think I've gotten 4 or 5. And like I said, they've been very delicious. Oh, wait, there's one more over here. That looks like it's ready to be picked. Right down there. So let's take this one off. And I got another one there. So they have been producing strawberries. Like I said, not particularly large ones. But this one's, looks like I've been sharing it with someone. But I've kept the this netting over the top of them, and it's kind of protected them. Nothing's come over here and bothered them. No groundhogs or anything like that. Let's see, is this one ready? This one's probably got a little bit longer to go. Maybe another day or 2 before I pick that one and eat it. But let's get back to planting. I can see I got a lot more runners over here and here, plus the one that I planted here. That's starting to sprout now, so that's good. It's getting ready to take. But like I said, it shouldn't be very long before I actually have this whole, all these planters filled in with strawberry plants. So when most of them didn't come up, I wasn't too concerned. Now what I think the problem was, is that the bedding that I use, this is, as I have mentioned, chopped up hemp. And I use this as my chicken coop bedding. But I didn't realize it would form such a thick layer and it crusts over. So unlike straw, it really, and it was pretty thick. I actually cleaned off about half of it. So it's still pretty thick. It's like 1 inch or 2 thick here. But I had about 3 to 4 inches in a lot of these planters. And I just think it created too much of a mat for most of the plants to go through. Because I planted them about every 7 to 10 inches apart, these plants. And in this particular planter, only that one plant grew. So the soil I'm using, first you want a cup. It's got to be 3 to 4 inches deep. That's what you'd like. And you don't want to use seed starting mix in this because they are going to be growing in here for a little bit. You want to use like a good potting mix. So this is homemade potting mix. It's reclaimed garden soil, a bit of peat moss, and composted chicken manure. And all I'm going to do is take one of the runners and press it into here.
I'm just gonna make a little divot like that, and then I'll take a runner and put it in. Let's see, I'll take this one over here. Let me swing the camera around. And I'm gonna take this runner right here. And I'm just gonna place it in the ground and then cover it up like that. Strawberry plants are horrible at holding their position. So you want to use just a piece of wire, a paper clip. I'm going to be using a cable staple or a fencing staple, and I'm just going to press that in. Not very tight, but just to hold it into the ground. And that hold it in place, and it'll allow the new strawberry plant to root. And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, after it's started to sprout and has taken root, you can then cut off the runner from the mother plant, and then you'll have a whole new plant by itself. So I got a bunch more runners to do, so let's get to them. Now ideally, you'd like to find a plant like this, a runner like this, that it's looking to put down roots. It hasn't yet. That's because we got this mulch on top. But a lot of times if you just have like a soil bed, you'll see that they'll start to try to take root, and on the bottom of the plant you'll see little bits of roots coming out. That would be the ideal ones to use. So far, like this one, doesn't seem to be a problem though, just taking a plant like this, planting it, and it starts to grow. So just like before, I'm going to take one of my containers, press it into the soil, and then just lightly cover it with some soil. That's how I've done each of these. I don't know if you're actually supposed to be covering it up, because with strawberries, obviously you don't want to plant it too deep. You want the crown showing, and actually you even want a little bit of the root, just a small fraction of the root sticking above the ground. That's the ideal height to plant them at. But so far I've been doing it like this, and it seems to be working just fine. So with the runner that's hanging over the edge here, I'm just gonna see if I can swing it around, plant it over here, get these plants out of the way, stick it into the ground, cover it up just a little bit, take one of my staples. Like I said, you can just use a paper clip, and that'll hold it in place until it grows. And then I have another one hanging off over here, so I'm just going to do the same thing again. Take my container, and we'll stick this one right here, and we'll move it, put this over here. I'm going to be a little gentle with the plant, maybe not handling it like I do. Hold it in place, and we've got one more to go. And just like that, I've got 5 more strawberry plants. So I do want to have 7 in each container. So right now I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I've started 10 plants like this so far. I had 7, so I've already more than doubled my strawberry supply, and I'm going to have 28, so I got another dozen to go.
The first time I ever tried to grow strawberries, I made a complete mess of it. I had bought like 50 plants. I think I planted some of them too deep, but others, they just never took. They came in the springtime, I remember, and just, they were like dead. They looked dead when they arrived, and they just never grew. Like I said, I'll take the blame for some of them, maybe planting them too deep, but nothing ever happened with them. Learned a lot since that time with them growing in the containers and surviving the winter. It's good for the future of those plants anyway. Now what happens after I fill up my 4 containers with strawberry plants and they still want to be throwing runners off the plants, where am I going to do that? Who knows? Maybe I'll give away some strawberry plants to people. But if you want to see what we're doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along on the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.